Bo, when you're playing a team like the Miami Dolphins that score points, it's pretty obvious they're one of the better offenses in the NFL. Did that change your approach at all as a play caller?
Well, as a play caller, we approach every week. Yes, that's important. But we're right there at the early stages, putting our plan together, and we're in the middle of meetings, and then getting the information to our guys. Sometime this afternoon.
After the game, Josh actually said that the 40-yard run was thanks to Greg being on time, telling him to cut back inside after going outside. With everything that Greg has kind of been able to provide to the team, how useful has he been on that offensive line?
He's been great. He has been. I've been very proud of him and the rest of the guys. They've been the core of what we've tried to instill, the physicality that we're trying to bring, and the patience that they have. And it was really excited to see. Once we got it going the other night in the run game, and it was a big play.
Along those lines, you talked about kind of the communication you have with players about what they like to do. Now, when you hear players communicating with players about plays and how to execute things, is that the environment you're trying to foster?
Yeah, I think that's what it's all about. It's just constant communication, even when everything's going good or when you face adversity. That's the important thing. Is you're always talking.
Coach, you kind of spoke about how they reacted after facing adversity. Can you speak about what you saw in terms of the team's demeanor after Aiden's interception, after the fumble? Seems like they didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, they're poised. Poised. Still had confidence. They knew. They knew, and I was proud of them for that. And I told them I'll stay aggressive and I'll stay patient though as well for them.
100 yards for running back is just kind of an arbitrary number that we've just picked as this threshold, but for Josh to finally get that for the run game, I guess, what does that do for their confidence, and how important was it to finally have that game this week?
Yeah, that's great for everybody. I mean, that's where it starts. It starts every week up front, and those guys, and and that's everybody involved too. The offensive line, the tight ends, they played really physical. They did a really good job. Obviously, the halfback and the receivers too are very involved in the run game.
So speaking to that point, Coach, I think Aiden's first 4 passes went to Devontae. How much did the success there, again, help out the running game because Devontae was already getting involved early?
Yeah, it always does. It always goes, hand in hand. The run game, if it's a successful run game, it's going to help the pass game and vice versa.
Coach Pierce talked about that 4th down play, just having a play that you guys really liked to be able to run and actually executing it in that situation. Is that a play you knew going into the week at some point you're going to be able to use and it was going to work whenever you were going to need it?
Absolutely. I was saving it for a fun time. So it showed up, and like I said, I have the utmost confidence in our guys. We were 5 for 5 in short yardage, whether it's 3rd or 4th down, and they did a great job executing. I was very proud of them.
I know we've talked a lot this year before you were in this role and after about Devontae's involvement and how much you want to give him the ball, how much you try to give him the ball. He had 90% of the intended air yards this week. Is that too much, or did you like the level that they were at?
Hey, nothing's too much. I was happy with how we started the game, and just being patient though. And I think across the board, it's just the guys. They show a lot of poise. Because they know they're confident, they know they're good players, and we got to get a good plan together, and it'll come to them. And we're playing a really good football team.
Well, from a process standpoint, are you just working off the playbook that was here, or do you actually draw up new plays and install them during the week?
Yeah, there's a twist here and there, but our core is our core. We're in this part of the season, and it would be it's advantageous to stick to the terminology that we know, but it's purely, like I said, the first meeting we had it's the execution and it's the confidence within that to do that.
I've talked to play callers and offensive coordinators who might see something on TV, a college game, or are you one of those that kind of steal in? And
yeah, I watch a lot of film. Well, my dad's high school coach, college football on Saturdays, and then obviously what's going on Sundays. I mean, that's my job.
I guess last week going into the first game was so chaotic, so many different things happened. Did this feel like more of a normal week, and were you just a lot more comfortable week 2 than you were week 1?
Yeah, it was great. We got a full week and kind of got our schedule together from the organization part, and AP's done a great job with kind of spearheading all that for us, and then for me, for the offensive side, just getting us a daily schedule, a routine, which is important.
watch back the film, Jermaine switching over to the left side at tackle, obviously that's a lot to ask a player to do in the middle of the season. How did you think he responded? And
Yeah.
the line in general, how did they play?
Absolutely, I was very proud of them. You know, they played physical. You know that, and we knew that was going to be a good, you know, defensive line, and I thought they did really well.
That was good. Thank you.
All right, thank you.